Now we have a dynamic leader with us who embodies purpose-driven leadership, Ms. Saima Arshad, founder of She Matters and Managing Director of Naya Daur. She will share her insight on leadership growth, a women perspective. Please welcome Ms. Saima Arshad on the stage.
Ji, Assalamu alaikum everyone and a very good afternoon. I hope you are having great time here at this conference where we are talking about a lot of innovation, a lot of future of marketing and business. I was just speaking to Saleha and I was saying that कि मुझे session आपने second half में दे दिया lunch के बाद. So it's going to be very sort of challenging to engage the audience, but whatever audience we have, I find a lot of thrive in them. And I will try to remain as engaging as I could be, especially to women, because we are going to talk about you. And to all my, no, not at all, you are very important. And to all the men, because this cannot happen without your enablement and your support in the ecosystem. So when I founded She Matters in 2017, the slogan we kept, my co-founder, Mr. Kamran Rizvi, the slogan we set was adding my voice to the orchestra of life. So that was very important. Do we have a caller mic? Can I roam around to know? All right, so I have to stand behind this podium and talk to you. I would have loved to come close to you and talk because it is a topic which is very, very close to my heart. And let's see how we take it forward. So the topic which was decided for this section was leadership growth, a woman's perspective. And this is a little intro about me. I'm available on social media and LinkedIn, and you can know more about me. Okay, that if the perspective is changed, that women are not an afterthought, they are the architectures. And truly, in the personal lives, they are. The kind of JD the nature has given to them is about building nations, is about having humankind, mankind in the society, which have to contribute in the society. So the reproduction part remains with them, and then hence, I believe that when they will be considered not an afterthought, but an architecture of any system, then in that case, societies, economies, and any system will thrive. So that's the opening sort of thought from my side, and I apologize in advance if I don't relate with your thoughts, but these are purely my thoughts, my learnings, my experiences, and we can talk about it offline if you do not believe in those thoughts. So, since a while, World War I, World War II, as we see the world progressing, there were different traits which were considered very, very important for the leadership. And remember, we are talking about leadership, a woman perspective. Why it's important and what is the perspective? Why and how she can bring value to the system. So there were few traits which were considered very important when it comes to leadership. Could you think of any leadership trait which is important? Okay. If you read these words, so मैं इसको अभी इस पूरे को एक नया perspective देने वाली हूँ, इसलिए मैं आपसे पूछ रही थी. तो assertiveness, dominance, hierarchy. ये तीन ऐसे words थे which were considered very important when it comes to leadership. But they were there, they existed, they still do. But they are not the only elements important in today's leadership which is required. In today's leadership, what is required is story of purpose, the narrative, the why part. Very, very important as a leader. Why we need to do what we are doing. So the purpose, storytelling, very important. And then persistence. The universe loves persistence. The universe loves resilience. That remains very important in today's leadership. And then the voice of possibility. That remains very important, that how can we make things possible, the alternative way of doing things, the contingencies, the possibility of bringing the reality to the canvas of life. So these are few important traits which remain very important, and in my humble understanding and in my humble research, these are all the elements which women bring on the table. Now, I'm not saying that men don't bring that, but women has a natural phenomena, the DNA, to bring all these things on the table, in addition to the two other very important traits which are written over here. And one Saleha mentioned, that is empathy. And the other one is grace. And we'll learn through in a little while that what does it mean when we talk about women leadership. Why women leadership is important? Few of the facts in front of you. The Google has different statistics. The Statistica of Pakistan has different statistics. So just a humble sort of representation of those statistics, that in Pakistan, it says 49%, but in some studies we are 51% of the population of the country. 51%. मैंने 49% इसलिए यहाँ लिखा है because this was the latest research I could grab from Google, but in other research it says 51%. And another study shows that out of 100 में से 51 की population हम हैं, पर contribution economy में 25%. And then in the GDP potential, if we close this gender gap, then we could raise Pakistan's GDP by 30%. And hence, it is the need to talk about women inclusion, participation and leadership. But how do we make it happen? So a humble understanding of what I learned with my share exchange of notes with few people from China. According to them, women were a very important factor, have been a very important factor in the growth and progression of China. If we read here, China's post-reform transformation shows the power of female inclusion. Women are over 43% of the workforce and owns 30% of SMEs. That is the few of the facts which we are discussing here about China. Post 1990, the government invested in microcredit. These are important things which we need to consider. And there could be more studies which we can get from them, that what is the success mantra behind the China's progression. So the government invested in microcredit, technical skill, upskilling and inclusion in industrial zones. Results: export surged, rural poverty declined and female entrepreneurship became a national identity. So that means that economic stability is balanced by when you bring structure, adaptability and social intelligence into the system. And these are the things which women can easily bring on the table. But they need to be nurtured and they need to be trained. How can they give these things to the society, to the systems? So again, we have a lot of potential. There are women who are there are women who are passionate. The potential exists, but it is the time to bring that potential and bring it part of the participation in the society. So that was the learning, and why I am giving this global perspective, because it is important to study the success systems and then translate what can we do in our country. I just gave few examples of how China became so progressive while having the participation from the women. And few of my learnings of a recent study of International Visitor Leadership Program in the US. That was a very impactful journey of a month where I stayed there and I studied the ecosystems which are participating for women empowerment and also women economic progression through entrepreneurship. So few of the learnings out of the IVLP. One of the very biggest learning, and if we implement it here, I think that the success rate can be much bigger. I'm also planning to have an entrepreneurship program with a lot of stakeholders in the society, and I think that from NIC, Ayub Ghori is already here, and it will be very instrumental to have these players of the ecosystem together and work with them. So my young fellows, my female future leaders who are here, very encouraging news for all of you, that when I studied during my IVLP that how they are making sure that women entrepreneurship is spurred more and more in the society. So a lot of community-based program. So we do have incubation centers in Pakistan, but in US, what they are doing is they are actually involving communities and trying to ensure that how they can incubate at the community level, छोटे level से, और कैसे उनको उसके बाद state level पे लेके आए और national level के ऊपर लेके आए. So a lot of effort is to be done in our country, and I think this is the best model we can copy in here. So let me give you an example. So for example, in one of the states in Burlington, there was a very small town which is also called Burlington, and that was across the lake. And there were a lot of community-based incubation centers funded by the government and also by the universities. And I saw female entrepreneurs over there being incubated even from Canada, because they found a lot of worth. They used to travel there for a month, stay there, get incubated, go back, work offline, and then get ideas how they can set up their company. So if they have an idea, how they can bring that idea into reality, what is the chain of thoughts, what is going to be the way progression. If they need investment, how they can raise investment in the ecosystem, and the universities and the other players in the ecosystem were helping them to raise investments. And then if they have to register the company, if they have to hire people, if they have to become scalable, if they have to learn about the laws of the entrepreneurs, the business, in the industry they want to operate. And by the way, in that state, there were a lot of businesses which were in food business, because that is a area where there are a lot of farms, a lot of farm growing. So a lot of businesses were around food. And the congressman in that state is working hard in order to ensure to talk to the state and to talk to Washington DC to manage some laws which are favorable for food businesses, because he found out that these are the businesses which needs encouragement in his state. So are you understanding? There are a lot of community level work so that we have an impactful result, rather than staying on the, on the surface level, make laws, make policies, and then not getting them implemented at the grassroots level. So we have to work on the grassroots level, engage communities, bring the best on top, help them. And I'm very encouraged to learn that there are a lot of incubation centers, including National Incubation Center, which is working on this model. But I think we need more. This is not enough. University mentorship, as I already mentioned, that this was another second learning. A lot of mentorship. So for example, when I went to University of Albany in New York, the kind of ecosystem they have built within the university for female entrepreneurs was remarkable. And there are so much learning that I am actually planning to have a 2-day session, a workshop, in order to share this with the relevant stakeholders, because I understand that I'm very passionate about this and I will create a lot of voice, and it's going to take some time, but somebody has to do it and I will do it. So a lot of ecosystem at the university level. Not only that, how to think of the right business ideas was the first step for a graduate moment. And then from there, turning that idea into reality, getting the funds, registering the company, etc., etc. So if in the past few slides I showed you that because we are 51% or 49% or whatever, close to half of the population of the country, and there is a potential. We have been talking about it, women inclusion, we have been talking about it, women participation, but a lot of action is needed. And if we want to make the potential a reality and participation, then these are the things which we have to think now and implement straight away. And the government has to take a lot of part in that, the university have to do their bit, and we'll talk about the other things which other stakeholders can do. And I'm really enjoying during my talk the photo session at the back, which is very encouraging, and want me to join them there. But I would love them to have part of this conversation, because we are talking about the future here, guys. And it's important that we take serious interest in that. And then while we are making policies, we also talk about the life values. Very important. That how do we embed the values in the policies? Policies for the sake of it. I'm not sure any one of you is part of the government here, sitting here. With all due respect, there are a lot of policies, there are a lot of laws. Other day I was talking to somebody and I said, look, can we make a public-private collaboration a little bit better? And he said, oh, by the way, this council exists for women leaders, this council exists for women empowerment, that forum exists, this exists, that exists. Okay, they exist. But how can we bring them together and work on a structured approach rather than a silo approach? I know it's hard, but somebody has to talk about it, sir. Somebody has to envision it, dream about it, and have the like-minded people together to make it part of the reality. Else, I think that we are not only losing potential, we are losing our future, because we are there. That's the hard reality. We are 50%. We have to really think hard. 51, 50, there are different statistics, so I have to remain neutral. So, I understand that there are a lot of work which is already happening. I also do a little small humble effort with the name of She Matters, and these are the three things She Matters work on. It works on technical skill development, behavioral, yes, सिखाते हैं schools में, universities में. But at the grassroots level, we believe that it's very important if we want to include women in the workforce, in the economic participation, we have to make them part of the economic participation. It became very important that we equip them with some technical skills and make them part of the workforce. So चाहे वो आपको plumbing सिखाना है, या painter बनाना है, या chef बनाना है, या और किसी और skill में आपने enhancement create करनी है, I think it remains important. इसको चला दें. I think it remains important that we make them part of the workforce while making them part of the workforce. And then entrepreneurship, that's the second leg we work on, and awareness and advocacy. And this humble participation here, organized by MAP and Solia and Tariq Saab, is a humble contribution that I am trying to make, create some advocacy for a very important topic which is needed. So I think this is working, and I would like to come here and talk because passion-driven talk hai meri, so it's important that I can create some connect at least with my friends who are there, and few of the people who are listening, and I think they believe in the cause, and maybe in future we do something together to make it a reality. So there are three things. I was told that I am left with 5 minutes. Sorry for being late. I will take a little time more. There are three things which are very important when it comes to women leadership, and that has to be looked from a women lens. That is crisis, change, and courage. I've kept three pictures here for your imagination to think that what does it mean. But in my dictionary, and some of the experiences I have, these are the three things which are very much important when we talk about leadership from a women lens. Crisis, the test of grit. I think that we as women, whoever agree can raise hands, we have a natural phenomena to come out of crisis and make ourselves prepared in a very natural way. Agreed? Disagree? Agree, please, show of hands. Wow. Cool. Because you know, when we are told, oh, आज का इस महीने का बजट कम है, यही खर्चा है, इससे काम चलाना है. Crisis. The woman has to manage. She manages. Crisis. There is a crisis in the kids school. Oh, बाहर कोई मस्जिद में ऐलान हो रहा है. मैं masses की बात कर रही हूँ, gentlemen and ladies. ये हो रहा है, वो हो रहा है. अभी ये नहीं है, वो नहीं है, बिजली चली गई है, etc., etc., etc. So as a phenomena, yes, we are trained to think so much negative and exhibit negative sentiments. But if at a natural phenomena, we are very much trained as women and we are born to operate in crisis. So how does one operate in crisis? With grit. That is the only way. The grit is the only way. That is one of the very important trait a women leader have to learn how to operate, because VUCA world rahega, there is going to be volatility, there is going to be a lot of complexity every time. So this is where it's very important that a woman learns how to remain in grit and then change. That is something which is inevitable. I read in my strategic management book, oh, change is inevitable. Agree? Disagree? Agreed. So in the changing time where the change is so much fast, when I was a kid, and I'm still a girl, but when I was a kid, the change used to happen in a decade, in 5 years. एक technology आती थी और वो technology 5 साल में 10 साल में obsolete होती थी. अब वो 6 महीनों में obsolete हो जाती है और नई technology आ जाती है. तो that means that whatever way we were managing the change as women, and I'm talking from a women perspective, so I'm actually mentioning women. That is the topic which is given to me. So I think that this is very important, that we do not think that how do we be adaptable only. We have to think how do we reinvent. This is very important at the time where we are operating at the moment. And then the courage. Courage is the catalyst of growth. Very important that we remain courageous. And by the way, my dear women fellows, courage does not mean that we roll up our sleeves and ready to fight with everybody who perhaps give a comment or perhaps make a statement which we don't like. That's not courage. Fighting is not courage. And what is courage? Courage is to make your own space, to make your place. And how do you make your place? You make your place by marking and getting the recognition of the work you do. You make your space while creating excellence within you, in the work you do, in the knowledge you attain. So this is how you make the space. So these are a few things, quickly, a sense of leadership. I know I'm short of time. Building when it's easier to quit, that's grit, in my language. Taking accountability in adversity and turning struggle into strategy. And what is grace? Balancing strength with empathy, responding with calm under pressure, and turning leadership into legacy. Grit provides growth and grace provides grounding. That remains very important. And if a few of you who know me personally are sitting here, I think this is my WhatsApp status since the last perhaps 8 years, grit and grace. This is what I live, this is what I value a lot. We can give different definitions, my dear women fellows here, and also to men, that how do we ensure that, how do we ensure, topic aisa hai, that we remain very relatable in today's workforce through grit and grace. And few of our men colleagues who are sitting here, all those female leaders who are working with them, under them, and not to forget their daughters, who are the future leaders. These are two very important things which I would love all of you to talk about in the personal and professional settings. And I think that this is something which I have already talked about. You can see a very important female leader which I really admire on the screen. That's the Justice Nasra Iqbal. I think ये एक ऐसी example है जो कि हम सब समझते हैं पाकिस्तान के लिए it's a moment of pride to have them, and I think the kind of grit and grace she has shown, if any one of you have heard her, and maybe you can look up on YouTube about her, so that's the leader example we all have. But we have to prepare future women leaders, which you can see a kid right there at the screen. So while preparing these future women leaders and talking about the women lens and talking about grit and grace, these are the conversations we need to have. But what are the actions? I have already talked about few. These are a few other actions, and I'm going to talk at least couple of you in the audience. And I am organizing a session on mid-November where we are going to talk about future women entrepreneurship. And these are the things which we need to talk about. I'm just closing in 2 minutes. Thank you. And while building the next chapter, that's my closing reflection. Leadership isn't a title. It's an energy. And remember, you can give energy to the system you operate in when you are energetic within. You cannot give what you don't have. You can only give what you have gained it already. So that is something I am trying to have the spotlight on. And when that energy is fueled by grit, guided by grace, as I mentioned, that with this, courage is very important, and courage is not about fighting. It is about having your ground stand in a very grit way. Nations transforms, and women are creating already evolution in the globe. This is our time that we not only talk about it, which we have been, but we also create actions in collaboration with faith and with the power of reinvention. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mab, Dr. Salia, Tariq, for giving me this opportunity.
Wow, what a wonderful presentation. I really loved it. And your message of empowerment and authenticity truly resonated. Thank you so very much.
Is there any
and
questions?
yeah.
Is there any
No.
Questions?
Yes, no questions.
Okay. No
Anybody wants to ask any question? Is there any question? Okay. Miss Sama, you have to stay on the stage. And may I request Tariq Saab, please come on the stage. Sir Ayub Gauri, you want to ask something? Yeah. He wants to ask something.
Haji.
Can I have
Okay, I'm right here. So this is Ayub Gauri here, and wonderful presentation. Really very, very inspiring, not only for women, for anybody who's sitting in there. I saw a picture of a very young lady in the end, and you said it's about leadership. Tell us about this young lady, because I noticed her on your Facebook as well. And what is the success? How she's following your footsteps?
All right, so that young girl is my younger daughter. Her name is Atika, Ati, I call her Ati. And that is where my Facebook ID is also associated with my two daughters. And as you can you can relate that how much I believe in She Matters. I believe that we as women, either we are homemakers or leaders or businesswomen or whatever way we are working, we have to become the example of the future females. ये phenomena कहीं जाने नहीं वाला. Society में हमारी contribution is very important, and what a good way to start doing this from my home. And I have to be an example as a mother, as a working person, as a good partner, as a good mother to her. And she has been very instrumental in her learning, Ayub. And
She got a title recently of president. Tell us about that.
yeah, so she recently got enrolled in the council of her school, and now she is the president of the STGs in the school. Thank you. And by the way, she got interest into this while I made her to speak in one of the conferences of She Matters. And she talked about sustainable development goals, and I enabled her to talk about it. And the school picked it from there, and now today she is the president of that society. Thank
That's
you.
wonderful. Thank you so very much, Ms. Saima. Sir Tariq, please come on the stage. Sir Shahid. Dr. Salia, please join us to present the souvenir.